I'm Jeff Jarvis. I wrote the book, What Would Google Do?
That's great. And what would Google do now in China? How do you see that steps they undertook in the last weeks?
I'm glad to see it happening. I think it took a behemoth the size of Google to actually stand up to China. The United States didn't, Germany didn't, other big companies haven't, and now whatever happens in China, these issues are now on the agenda, and China can't walk away from them, and I think that's very important.
What do you say about others saying that's like a PR gag? It's just like that they have no real market size in China, so they did that for other reasons?
We should all have some of the money they get in China and the market size they have in China. 30% of the market in China is worth something. No, they could lose out there, but I think that I wrote a book that's a fanboy of Google, and so people always say, what about China? So I'm very glad to see their stand on free speech. It's important for them to stand up for free speech. But at the same time, this really is about defending the internet and defending the cloud and keeping our faith in that. And I think that's critically important because the internet's being attacked in all kinds of ways, in terms of not just cyber attacks, but speech and all kinds of other issues.
How do you see competitors of Google? We are a fan of Google. I'd say it's just like a provider and a service. So if I find another search engine that is better, I would just go to another.
That's what Google always says. Whenever people, especially right now in Germany, people are trying to say, "Oh, Google's a monopoly." Bull. As Eric Schmidt says, there's an alternative for everything they do. A perfectly good alternative. You don't need to use Google. You can de-Googlify your life if you want to. I don't know why you would, but you could.
I mean, Germans are very particular on that. We have Amazon and Google, and we tend to like just one provider. So that's maybe also a problem or a thing of the German market.
But it's a shame right now that the German market is starting to get hostile. The media is getting hostile to Google. And I think that's not very wise. I've said to Google that they've made the mistake of trying to make friends of those who only want enemies. And I think that the old media are now trying to find someone to blame for their problems. And it's not Google's fault. Google sends them audience and traffic and people, and it's up to the publisher to then find a way to create a relationship of value there. And if they don't, it's not Google's fault, it's the publisher's fault. And now, the fact that the publishers are trying to hide behind Angela Merkel's skirt on changing copyright, I think is very, very dangerous too. It changes something much bigger. We have a saying in America that in good times business does business, in bad times business does government. And that's what's happening in media in Germany right now. I think it's dangerous.
You've been a journalist for years now, from the pre-internet era. What do you say? Why are publishing houses so delicate about changing the ideas of journalism?
You know, I think I thought about this recently. I think that technology companies change because they understand obsolescence. They understand that anything they do is going to go out of date and get replaced. Whereas we in journalism thought we were building stone castles. We were protecting. And protection is no strategy for the future when the world is changing around. The problem for the big old media companies is that they're big. And this is a world where you can be small and profitable. And so to shrink from being big down to small is very difficult, very painful. A lot of people will lose their jobs. Huge expense to that, a huge cultural change. And I think they just kind of don't know how to do it. They've had 15 years since the commercial web, and they haven't done it.
And journalism has to do some of this investigation, keeping secrets, just talking to people and creating a new, analytics. Is that gone with the web? Because everything is transparent, everything is open. So is there some space?
No, I don't think it's not at all. I think it just changes the process of it. You look at what The Guardian did with a scandal about members of Parliament's expenses. They put all the expense stuff they got up online. We have the opportunity to collaborate with the public now. That the public, we have more watchdogs on government than ever, because they can find something that can draw to our attention. But then I think what we have to do is ask, how do the journalists add value? People can already share information. They have great tools for that now. But we add journalistic value. What we did in the past was we told you what you already know. We had to package the world because that's the only way it worked. Well, now that you already know the basics, we can add our highest value. Which I think means we'll curate the best of the web, the best of what's going on. We'll train people to do journalism better. We'll do collaborative projects that we do. We'll start ad networks. I think we have to change our relationship with this new world.
Going back to what we spoke about Google and search engines, it's a rather philosophical question. Is the world everything that can be contained in an algorithm?
No, I don't think so. I think there is a point for human input here. And for that matter, Google is all about listening to us and our clicks and our links. I think there's a few spheres of content discovery. Right? The old one was the brands. You come to our brand, there's the content. Then there's a search engine, which is gigantic. And there's algorithms, like Google News or Daylight for our partner. Then there's also what's happening with the human link world. Look at Twitter. Google News causes 1 billion clicks a month. Twitter's Bitly, the shorting service, now causes 2 billion clicks a month. That's people linking things. It's people filtering for you and becoming curators. That's a huge new sphere here. So it's not just algorithms.
It lives on prediction. What I did in the past, I'm going to do in the future, and this is what it recommends to me. Are we completely predictable as humans?
Not at all. But Google wants to intuit our intent. They want to know what our intention is. So they'll try to take any clue they can from there. So now, for example, search is getting more localized. If you ask for pizza, I live in New Jersey, but if I ask for pizza right now on Google, it's going to tell me pizza in Munich, because it knows where I am. I can correct it, I can change it, I can say, no, I want to know, it's fine, it'll tell me that. It'll never be perfect, it'll be spooky if it's perfect, but it will get ever better, because it will know more about us, because it's worth it for us to do that.
When we speak about things like algorithms and the nature of man, do we lack a philosophy of the web?
Well, I was debating the other day that after the Google China thing, somebody I respect said that we need a constitution for the web. It made sense at first, but then I thought, no, I don't really want to codify it that much. John Perry Barlow wrote in Davos in the 90s, wrote a Declaration of Independence for the web, which is important. If we're going to go by the American sequence, that comes first, then there was a constitution, then there was a Bill of Rights. I think we do need a Bill of Rights that talks about what it means for the internet to be out there. And no one can control it, no one should own it. It's all of ours. We need to be left open. We need the internet to keep its purity as an open platform. And that's what the Google China war is really about, controlling the definition of the internet.
Cool, great. Thanks, Chef.
Thank you.
For joining us.
Vielen Dank.
Yeah, bitte.